we're going to open the show with...
And we're live!
That's it. I'm done. I am done. Unbelievable.
So bad.
You told me to wait. You told me to wait. I was just sitting here waiting.
Okay, so yeah, welcome to Network Roundtable, where we sit in the green room and rant every week.
Yes, and guess what? It's 5:42 somewhere, and I'm going to one of these days actually look up where it's 5:42, because I think that would be interesting. It's like 5 hours that way from here.
Well, I think it's probably the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
That's why I think it would be funny.
Okay.
Because I don't think there's any cities that are 5:42. You'd have to be like... Anyway. Wow, Google's acting up. Sorry you guys can't share the event this week. None of us can. We don't know why. But we're here, and it's running, and we're going to have a little bit of problem with the vision of our sidekick because, well, he disappeared in the green room. And he's been having some internet problems, and we're supposed to call him in by phone, and that's not working, so... But I learned something in the green room anyway. We were going to have a vision problem even if Roy had been connected, because apparently Roy never goes on camera. So that would have, even if we get him in here, we're still going to have exactly the same vision problem. But we are going to talk all about vision. I'm super excited about this. And Christine, that picture that you posted in the event about vision, I love that. That is so cool. Yeah.
Which one? The one about the grind?
Yeah, with the eye.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that quote too.
So we also had some other problems, largely because Stephanie and I were extremely busy with the Westminster NBA HOA Wednesday night. So we don't have a questionnaire this week, which means we don't have any quotes this week, which means we're not going to do Network Roundtable this week, I guess. Because everything we do, we just got to call the show something else. Got a name?
No. We can do the Roundtable part. We just won't do the network part.
There you go.
Whatever. We're gonna have a great time because
we are.
First off, it's so cool to be with Christine, and Vision, I think, has got so much stuff that we could cover. We'll go over time, even though we don't have quotes or a survey. So.
Oh, I'm sure. And when we were setting up for the, right now I'm trying to kill time in case you're wondering, because I'm hoping that we can actually get Roy back in so that Roy can tell everybody why Christine is amazing and Christine can tell everybody why Roy's amazing. And we may do that in the middle of the show, though. But we were talking in the green room after the invitation trailer on Monday, and we decided that we needed a different name for all of you guys. So, because, I mean, with the whole new superhero thing, then Small Biz Happy Hour, Happy Tribe, that's what we used to call you, just didn't take off. So, Stephanie, do you want to announce the cool name?
Well, we've given it a lot of thought, and given that I'm old, and given that I'm old enough to remember disco, and disco is near and dear to my heart, we want to call everybody in the audience the Super Troopers. So, let us know what you think and how you feel about being a Super Trooper.
Yeah, so that makes all of you superheroes too. Super Trooper heroes. All right. So, Christine, I'm going to turn to you, even though we don't have Roy, and I'm going to ask you to at least tell us why you picked Roy and why you think he's such an amazing sidekick.
I picked Roy because he is my superhero sidekick. Roy Montero, he has been a friend, a mentor, a confidant, business partner, joint venture partner. Just it's everything kind of wrapped into one. And he self-describes himself as the Wizard of Oz. He's behind the curtain type of a guy, and he truly is, but he truly isn't, because when you get to know him, he has a lot to say. And but what comes out of his mouth is always of value, always. So he was a natural selection for me. We're always chit-chatting. Just this morning we were chatting before the show for about 3 hours. So there you go.
And I'm really excited to get to know Roy today.
I'm excited to introduce him, but he's not answering his phone right now.
His internet problems are a lot bigger than just...
than we thought.
Yeah. Or maybe he's got VoIP. I don't know.
Possibility. That's a good
question. It is, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, maybe in the absence of Roy, or until he joins us, I could jump in and love a little bit on Christine. I will take any opportunity I can get to love on Christine. Obviously, when we started doing a show on vision, when we knew we were going to do this show, Christine was a natural fit, at least in my mind, and I think in your mind too, Dennis, because she really has this ability to kind of not lose sight of the big picture, right? She's very clear for herself and her business where she's going, but she also has this amazing ability to help somebody else get that clarity about what they're doing and to kind of ask the right questions so that either they find what they're trying to do or they reconnect with the vision that they have of their business and their lives. So I'm super excited to have her here today, and I know she's going to share a ton of wisdom with us about vision and plenty of other stuff. And then on a personal note, of course, Christine, you know I love you, and she's been, since I met her, I have gotten so much joy out of being able to hang with her. It's just, I don't know, it's amazing. And, you know, it's one of those things where sometimes you know how you're having a bad day and you're like, oh, I hate being online. I hate this. I don't want to do this anymore. Invariably, if I choose to reach out to Christine at that point, I'm like, oh, what was I thinking? This is where I need to be. This is who I need to be connecting with. So there's no question for me that she's somebody that you absolutely have to know online, and a true friend, and someone who I both respect and appreciate to the nth power. So thank you so much for being with us, Christine.
I am blushing. Thank you, Stephanie. Honestly, before we jump into the actual vision, I feel the same about you. And honestly, I believe we gravitated towards each other and we connected the way we did because we are who we are and we're comfortable with who we are. We know what we know, but we're also willing to admit what we don't know. And to me, that's important when connecting with people. It's just keep it real, and you'll make some really, really real divine connections. So I feel the same about you. Thank you. And Dennis, you know, you're okay in my book too. No, I adore the both of you. I adore the both of you. I do. You are some of the realest peeps that I've connected with on G+. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Well, we're excited to have you here, and you know, you and I have done a number of strange little things here and there, like making a video on how to use, that was so funny, on how to use comment tracker just 2 days before they completely changed comment tracker. You know, but I have enjoyed every minute that I have had with you, and we got to spend more time together, honestly. Just saying, because, yeah.
That would be awesome, and especially if we could all, like, hang out offline, in person, you know, having happy hour for real.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. I'm all for that, babe.
Maybe we'll have to do a network roundtable true happy hour.
That's a great idea.
In the middle of the Atlantic at 5:42.
Right. Okay, I don't like to fly, so it'll have to be in a boat. Anyone have a problem with that?
Not me. I love boats.
Cool. Okay, so do we want to jump right in and Roy will join us in progress?
Yeah. I do want to point out that the audience has started to fill in for Roy.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, Gail Harris said, I can help with that. Christine L. Bowen is amazing. Let me count the ways. She is the most beautiful person inside and out. She is a pure visionary. She is so much fun, a great business person, and has the utmost integrity. And then Phil Boyer says, I second what Gail Harris said. Christine Bowen is pretty freaking amazing. I'm so glad we have connected and had the opportunity to work together, even if it was just a tiny bit. And then Cheryl says, I find Christine L. Bowen so inspirational. I met her through an attempt to make real connections with people, and she is so open and real and shares her soul so willingly. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I am just speechless. I usually cry towards the end of an HOA, not at the beginning. Thank you all. I feel so inspired by the G Plus family. I'm just going to say the G Plus family, and thank you. Just thank you, everyone. I feel like I'm at, my living funeral where you hear such great things about yourself. That's precious, and I feel just the same about each and every one that expressed about me. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much for being who you are, right? That's what you were saying earlier. Sometimes when you are who you really are, that's when you attract the people that you really connect with. And that's kind of what it's all about.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Okay, Christine, my brain just went when you said the living funeral. Imagine a once a month living funeral HOA. Wouldn't that be a cool HOA? People could, hey, I want to have a living funeral, and we all just join the person, and everybody loves all over them, and we bring people in and out through the film strip, just loving on someone.
Yeah, let's call it a love fest. # love fest.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Brainstorming live on air.
Oh my gosh.
With drinks. If you're doing it with me, you gotta have drinks.
Right.
I've got my drink. Is that what you meant?
Yeah. If you like the soft stuff, sure. Yep. Okay, so I'm thrilled to be here, folks.
Yeah. So let's talk vision.
Well, and I like what you did there, Dennis, because this notion of brainstorming, to me, is a great way to connect to the idea of vision. Because really, a vision is just your idea, right? It's the idea that you started with, the reason that you're passionate about your business. It's the reason, or whatever you're doing in life. But I think sometimes we lose sight of that, right? And so what we just did there, that 3 minutes where we're like, oh, that'd be so cool, and that excitement that we all felt, I feel like as business people, sometimes we get disconnected from it. And that's where things start to go wrong, because we don't feel that excitement anymore. So I don't know, Christine, what do you think?
Absolutely. This is why I love you. Yesterday we were hanging out on another HOA, and I called you the cherry on top of my ice cream sundae, because your intuition and insight is just amazing, and you have tremendous vision, Stephanie. And to me, of course I have my outline, but we're nowhere near this outline. But I'm going to go with the flow. The key to the vision, number one, is it comes from within. You have to go within your heart. To me, that's what's connected to spirit. That's what allows you to, if you're connected to spirit and you hone in on that bigger vision, number one, you cannot fulfill it by yourself because it's that big. And so that leads to what you were just saying, Stephanie. We must connect with the right people to help us not only carry out the vision, but stay focused on the vision, stay excited about the vision, because it's not an easy, smooth road. The road to success is crazy. And we have, obstacles, we have challenges, and if you have the right people around you, like a Roy Montero. I have to toot his horn since he's not here with us. I would even say this if he was here with us on live. That's how we have supported each other over the last 4 years. Is we've had this similar vision. When we met, we connected, and we just started to ride it out, and not try to force it, but just go with it until it came to fruition. So I'm totally with you on that. You must have the right connections to keep passionate about your vision.
Well, and I guess the other question that I think maybe business-minded people get stuck with is, yeah, but it can't be exciting every day, right? I mean, we all know that certain parts of your business are going to be drudgery, and I'm not saying I agree, but I think this is how some people think. They have this sort of compartment, right? So they have this is my life, and this is over here where I can have fun, and then this is my business, and this over here is where I have to be serious, and I have to not have any fun, and I have to make sure people respect me or whatever. And I don't know, you do such a good job, Christine, of being who you are all the time, right? And finding ways to be joyful and playful and all that in your business. For someone who's struggling with that kind of compartmentalization, is there something they can, what are things they can think about, or what are some things that they can do to help them really put those two pieces of their lives back together?
Oh, that is a fantastic question. Yes, most people do separate business from life, and I have to give a horn toot to Kenneth Manesi, and he says this all the time. The whole point of being an entrepreneur, the whole point of starting your own business is to live an enhanced life, a better life. It's not, the business isn't the focus. And so for me, it still goes back to surrounding yourself with the right people. Perfect example of keeping joy in your business, even through the rough stuff every day, is divine connections. If you're connected with the right people, you're all not going to have a bad day at the same time. You're a leader one day and you're just down here, and that's why you need to surround yourself with the right people to help keep you on the path and focused on your vision, because they'll be able to lift you up. They'll be able to help you laugh. Perfect example is Nora Whalen and Jessica Duell with Infusion Principle. That and Phil Boyer touched on it. We were part of that team. We still are part of that team. And that was a crazy, crazy run to that online summit. And yeah, there were days that I wanted to pull my hair out, but it would come right on time intuitively. And this is what I love about surrounding yourself with the right people. You don't even have to so much call them up and say, hey, I'm having a bad day. Intuitively, they know. And they send you that right, you've done this with me, Steph, send you that right message at the right time, or say, hey, let's jump on an HOA, or you open your mailbox and find something like this. And so keeping joy to me is not taking things too seriously and just going with the flow. Challenges are just simply opportunities. That's all they are.
Well, and of course I agree, with all that, and I love Jess and Nora, and I agree that the way that they're approaching it, that kind of reconnection is important. Is there some way? I myself struggle with this because you get busy, right? You've got this to-do list of 15 different things, and you're on item number 9, but you see the 6 things you haven't done. Is there some quick and easy way, like, I don't know, maybe a vision board or some kind of tangible thing that we can create for ourselves that will help us get that kind of instant focus? Because I hear what you're saying about being able to connect with people, and I agree that's a huge help. But sometimes it's more just kind of having it hit you in the face, right? Like you look up and you see this beautiful thing you're shooting for, and that kind of helps you. I don't know. What do you use?
You know what? I can just sit back and listen to you, for real, because you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Motivation to me doesn't come from external. It comes from you. No one can motivate you or I. You can motivate yourself. Someone can inspire you, but the motivation comes from within. So when you receive the vision, When you go within, receive the vision, you know what it is, the first thing you want to do is write it down.
Okay.
You have to write your vision down. I'm a spiritual person, so Habakkuk 2:3 says, write it down, write the vision down, make it plain. So you want to have a crystal clear view of what it is. You want to be able to read that description. I'm not saying you have to become a professional writer like Gail Harris. Hey, Gail. But write it in such a way that you can almost see it, smell it, taste it, touch it. It's that real to you. And read it every day. I have a bookmark in my browser, my Chrome browser, and it says, it's a folder that says read this daily. And so every day I read my own words. I read what my purpose is here on earth. I read how it ties in with what I'm doing online, offline, and even outside of the business scope, because everything intertwines. I have a vision board, like you said, with things that are important to me and things that I want to see happen within my lifetime so that I can experience them with my loved ones. So having visual is critical. That wasn't profound. Visual. You need to have visuals to hold fast to the vision. So you're absolutely right on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I love that idea of, I think some people like having a habit, and I love your idea of having this habit first thing in the morning. You reread. Here's what my big goals are for today. Here's what I really want to do. I think for some people, meditation may serve that purpose. Some people do a devotional in the morning. But yeah, I think as a business person, it might be a really great idea. And if you look at what's his name, Brendan Burchard, I think is his name.
Mm-hmm.
He does a whole new take on setting your morning routine, right? And this notion of what you want to do is not respond to other people's agendas first thing in the morning by checking your email and getting your social media updates. You want to take some time and understand what your agenda is for the day. And then once you've gotten that in place, it's perfectly fine to go out and to respond to the things other people are asking you, but make sure you take care of what's most important for you.
Yeah.
And I really like that notion. I mean, I think, and it's something, obviously, I like it. I don't necessarily do it, but I like it. And I'm working towards.
Yeah, it's good. We're not perfect. So there are days that I was supposed to meditate this morning, but I was so geeked out about this HOA that I did not. But when I took the time to get beautified, yes, people, I don't look like this instantly in the mornings. I had to get beautiful. I meditated then. So it's important to take time even throughout the day, just some checkpoints to make sure you're in alignment with what you said you're going to set out to do at the beginning of the day. Vision can be as simple as that. Another great technique, and this vision is such a powerful word for me because it's the foundation of everything we do. It's the first component of creating our reality, right? So for me, I liken it to my ability as a visual communicator, as an artist. It's taking something from an intangible to a tangible, and to do that, you have to use some visualization, some reflection, some thinking. For me, the creative process, which it can be applied to every aspect of life, including what we're talking about here, the major portion of that process is visualization. The execution, if you visualize it clearly enough, the execution is... But what we find is that when we do not take the time to visualize and have a clear picture, that's when you find you have more bumps in the road because you're not exactly sure what your next move is. You're not ready or prepared for any obstacles that may come. So visualization to me and creativity is where it all lies, is being able to tap into that creative mindset and use that mindset in our everyday practice.
Yeah. Well, and I love what you said there because the truth is, I think in an employee mentality, right, most of us at some point or another probably worked for somebody else, right? And so we had this notion of what working looks like. And working looks like it's not any fun and somebody's telling me what to do and I have to show up at 8 and I can't leave till 5. We had this notion of all these constraints, right? It was all about the rules and what you can't do. And I think that may be part of the hardest that may be one of the hardest things about making the transition from working for somebody else to working for yourself, is that in your mind, that's what work looks like. And so as soon as you say, I work for myself, well, you put yourself in that box. And so I really like the notion of exploring, taking the time to explore and to get very clear about the result that you're seeking.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, if you don't do that, I think, yeah, like you said, you can't know if you've arrived at your destination if you didn't know where you were going in the first place.
Exactly. Or if you lose sight of it, you lose your way. And I like how you tied in the employee mindset and transitioning to an entrepreneur mindset. That is, Stephanie, but I don't know if everyone else knows, that is the whole foundation of my brand, is to reset our creative mindset, not just our mindset, but the creative mindset, because the creativity is where, there's a quote that I absolutely love, so I have to use it. Your imagination is the hood ornament of your creativity. I love that. Like, the hood ornament on the car. Yep. So I'll say it again. Your imagination is the hood ornament on the car of creativity. And so what we need to be able to understand and remind ourselves of is that time when we were little kids, we had limitless imagination, we were not damaged by status quo and what looks like a business person. And I know Phil Boyer will love this. We have permission as entrepreneurs to break rules, which is the status quo. And one of the things I said on yesterday's HOA that I was on is I always challenge everything that I hear, that I read, because who made up this rule? Who says that it applies to me and my vision? That may work for someone else, but it may not work for me. So we have to be able to use filters in executing our vision.
Right. Well, and I love this notion, this focalization that I have too, that I try to communicate to my clients, which is just because somebody said it worked for them doesn't mean it's right for you. So you have to know what's right for you before you start just going out there and applying 6 tactics for best SEO or 5 ways to write a blog post. If that works for somebody else, that's terrific, but you're not them. And until you're very clear about what it is you're trying to accomplish, both in your life and in your business, it's hard to know which of those things. It's hard to have the filters like you're talking about, because you're just out there trying everything because people keep throwing information at you and saying, well, this is how you be successful and this is how you be successful. So
exactly.
Yeah, so maybe we could talk a little bit about the link, if you will, between vision and success and how you can redefine that for yourself and really get on the right track.
Absolutely. First, can I just say I'm loving this conversation. I am absolutely loving this. The formula that was shared, revealed to me, I'm a meditator. I love to just be still and know. Not enough of us do that. There is much, much clarity in being able to just be still and know. And if you don't know how to meditate, just breathe, because breathing brings you to the present moment. Because typically rather, as people, we're either in the future or in the past. And so when we breathe, and just, even if it's for 5 minutes, it brings you right to center and it helps you stay clear on what you're doing. And I truly believe and know that everyone has a different vision and purpose here on this earth. We don't have the same vision. We have similarities where we overlap, and that's where the divine connections come in. But we need to know as individuals, what is my purpose for what I'm doing? Why am I doing what I'm doing? And when we have that clarity, there's really no resistance. It really is that simple, but it's just that, with our own intellectual thinking, we want to put our own spin on it and say it couldn't be that easy, and let me just try this, and let me try what he said and she said. And what we end up doing is what that quote said. Don't expect everyone to understand your grind when God didn't give them your vision, but you can flip it around and say, don't expect someone else's grind to apply to you because you don't have their vision. So we have to be confident in what our vision is, and the only way we can be confident is when we be still and clear on what it is that we're doing. And that's where success comes.
Right. Well, and the thing that struck me as you were talking is the mere idea that success is different for everybody. Just like we each have our own vision, the truth is success is different for everybody. But a lot of people get sold a bill of goods or buy into the notion that success is a big house and a fancy car and, you know, super expensive vacations or a kid who goes to an Ivy League school. And don't get me wrong, those are all great things if you personally value them and they bring you something other than, hey, my neighbors are jealous because I just bought a new car. But if you get on the treadmill, and here we're gonna talk about Manny, I think. You get on the treadmill of, I don't know why I need this much money to support this lifestyle that doesn't make me happy. To me, that's a big indication that you've lost sight of what success means to you.
Yeah.
And, you know, to me, that's what I love about Manny is this notion of core values. When you build your business, it needs to support, like you said, Ken has hit on it too, it needs to support your life and make your life better. If you're building a business because you think being a millionaire is going to make you happy, you might want to make sure that's really one of your core values. And if it is, then great, go for it. But if what really makes you happy is to spend time with your family, well, then working 80 hours a week and beating yourself up to get that extra client so you have an extra zero in your bank account is going to leave you unsatisfied.
Yeah. Yeah. It reminds me of that quote, most people spend their health going after wealth or something like that. And it's crazy because your business, as entrepreneurs, our business should fuel our lives, not drain our lives. And I find, again, because of the lack of clarity, because of the microwave mentality, because of the want it now, and people get so worked up in and wrapped up in their business, again, they lose sight of the vision, they lose sight of the purpose, and end up literally killing themselves, which is sad. And also, too, even if you do have the vision and you're working towards the vision, perhaps you're draining yourselves because you're trying to do it alone. We cannot do everything alone. And teamwork, you know me, Steph, teamwork makes the dream work. Andrew Carnegie, who is one of my mentors, Napoleon Hill, I'll read it because I don't want to mess it up. Teamwork is the ability to work together toward a common vision, the ability to direct individual accomplishment toward organizational objectives. It is the fuel that allows common people to attain uncommon results. So when you think of partnering, aligning yourselves with ourselves, I'm not preaching because I'm included in this bunch, so when we align ourselves with the right people, we don't have to work as hard.
Right.
You know, so we have to also think about working smarter in executing our vision.
Well, and I think that's part of where getting clearer about what you really want can help you develop it helps you be a little humble, and you're able to say, I don't need to do everything. It's okay that I'm not an expert in X, because what I really want is I want to achieve my vision. And if partnering with somebody who sees my vision and agrees with my vision wants to help me get there, all the better. As opposed to this mentality of everything I achieve is 100% to show or to prove, you know, how successful I am, or to show other people. I think that helps you too. You know, when you're comfortable with what you're trying to achieve, you can go out and look for people who support that, as opposed to seeing potential employees or partners as a necessary evil, maybe.
Yeah, the way you see a person, I'm going to have to quote Roy on this one, because this is where I would bring him in. And one of his quotes that I absolutely love and I use all the time is, the way you see a person is the way you treat that person, including ourselves. So I think that the rushed mentality has a lot to do with why people lose or lack vision. Just having that want it now, want it big, and just you want to hit that instant button. I think Phil calls it the easy button versus the success button. I love that from his HOA the other day. And he hit it right on the head. People want an easy button, which may give you some upfront success, but if you focus on the right things and the right methods and the right people, that success button will be much bigger, much grander than you had ever imagined in the first place. So we're on the same page.
Well, and as you were talking about that, it reminded me of this quote, and I don't remember who it was, and it's been out there a lot, but it's the notion that happiness or success is not a destination, right? And I think that mindset that once I get the new car, or once I make enough money to buy the house, or once I do whatever, that's success or that's happiness, really works against us. And so that maybe is another way we can approach it, is by saying to ourselves, okay, it's not happening in the future. Kind of going back to the employee mentality, I think the employee mentality, and it was true for our parents and generations before, was I work really hard for 40 years and then I get to take time off. So I basically put my life on hold to earn myself the right to work, to enjoy myself later. And, getting out of that mentality, even though we're intelligent people and we know it's probably not the case, nobody works in the same place for 40 years now, it's hard to break that notion that was passed down to us by our parents. But why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't we be able to run our business and enjoy our lives right now?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? I'll piggyback on that. I believe that we have, as a society, like you said, we've been conditioned to think, you give up your life for this amount of time so that you can retire and go, move south or go to an island or whatever. That doesn't exist anymore. And quite frankly, even when it did exist, I never wanted to do that because my parents didn't do that. And so today, I believe that what works and what fuels our businesses is the opposite. When we focus on self-care, staying centered, and as you said, being happy every day in the moment, your mindset, your mind conditioning will be so strong that you can actually do more than the other way around when you're running yourself into the ground trying to execute so that you can take off in the future. So I believe in the exact opposite. So like I said, I always challenge the status quo. I hope I didn't drop. Did I drop?
No, you're good.
Okay.
I think you're good.
Okay.
Dennis has given us a little hell in the comments, Christy.
I saw that. He's like, let them talk.
Well, okay, let's just give Dennis some dead air. We'll see what he does with it. I'm kidding. And we love you, Dennis. You jump in whenever you want. It's just, I think I told you this would happen when we knew we were having Christine on. I think I did warn you that this was likely to happen. But I don't know. I think that one of the other parts that's very hard, whether you're just starting out or you've been in business for yourself for a while, is this contrast between being busy and doing important things. Because I think it's very easy to have a very long to-do list, and I had to take this to deliver, and I see it both with myself. I've seen it with clients I've worked with, where you would ask the owners, well, what did you do today? Well, I cold called 30 clients and I delivered 5 packages. And you're like, but you're the owner, right? You're supposed to be at kind of a much higher level than that. Why are you spending all your time doing that? And it was because they lacked the connection between what they did every day and where they were trying to go.
Yeah. And also, too, I will never stop talking about this because I don't think we can say it enough. Typically, business owners and solopreneurs or what have you, they try to do everything by themselves. And when you do that, number one, we cannot do everything. We're not excellent skill-wise in everything. And when we work smarter and partner with the right people, then you will have the time for yourself. You won't be pulling your hair out. Again, I'm going to go back to Jess and Nora. Just that whole infusion principle experience was bananas. However, thinking about it now, if they had attempted to do that, just the two of them, they would be either dead or close to it right now, and they would never have gotten to the point that we got as a team. I think it was like 10 or 12 of us. So having the mindset of aligning yourself with the right people, even just in life, not just business, to support you. If you're a single mom and running a business, then have somebody there that has your back, in the household. If you are, a couple and you're running a business and one is going to be stronger than the other, and allow each other that ability to be who each other, not nitpick at each other for not being like you, but elevating and saying thank you, high five, thanks for supporting me where I just simply couldn't do that. So to me, the divine connections piece helps us to keep peace of mind. It really does.
Oh yeah. Well, and I think that the other part of that is being comfortable enough with who you are. I mean, again, we talk about business as being kind of a journey, but the truth is, for a lot of people, it's also a very personal journey, because you learn a bunch about yourself when you're put in these situations that you didn't face as an employee. And I think some people, they fall back to what feels comfortable and what they always did, which is, I'm an employee and I have all my rules and I just follow the rules. Yeah. But I think some people really can take it as a way to personally move forward, as well as creating a business that helps them live a lifestyle that's better, well, it's a judgment thing, but that fits better for them.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the comment stream is on fire. And
well, let's see who's talking. What are they saying?
Yeah. Well, what's caught my eye just now is what Griswold Grimm, hey Grizz, one of my favorite peeps, he says, I think partnering with the right people means that those people have to accept the validity of your vision, even if they don't want to make your vision part of their own. Yeah, definitely you want the support. Yeah, people who are the right people for you will never ridicule you. They'll never belittle you or your vision, but they'll support you. And even like you said, if there's no overlap, that's okay. They can still be in your corner. I love that.
Yeah, that's great. And then I went over there, and I love what Phil has to say too. Success is reached when you're incredibly happy. A business is successful when the owner and employees and the customer are all incredibly happy.
Ooh, see?
I like that. That's really good.
Yep.
Well,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just looking at comments. I don't multitask well in HOAs, so I have to kind of look at comments and then come back, but I've learned so much. I didn't expect to talk this much on an HOA.
Welcome to RoundTable.
Yeah, Dennis going like this. You guys are awesome. These are some well thought out questions and thought provoking questions. But I do want to say that since being on Google+, I've been on Google+ since the beginning. A lot of people don't know that. However, somehow, vision, purpose, I don't know. You're supposed to be revealed at a certain time. That's all I'm going to say. And so I guess this is my year. But I've learned so much and continue to learn so much from everyone, including you and Dennis. It's just absolutely amazing. This is such a phenomenal network, because I'm on pretty much all the major platforms, and I'm an active networker. I'm not just there building numbers, and this has definitely by far been the most impactful, the most tight-knit, the most caring community. And I'm going to be honest, a little intimidating. But it can appear that way. That's my head thinking, but from my heart, I know that each of you are here to help me to grow. So I just wanted to take a moment to warm and fuzzy and thank you all for just being so open with sharing your knowledge and your love.
Wow, thank you for being here, and obviously Dennis and I both have had tons of Google Kool-Aid, so yes, I second everything you said about the platform, although I am not on many other platforms, so it's hard for me to compare. But honestly, I wouldn't want to be on platforms where you couldn't make genuine connections. Mm-hmm. And I think that is an advantage of the way G+ works, is that there's not some sort of either mentality or technical constraint that keeps you from saying everything you want to say. So Yeah, I think that's part of the huge advantage of G plus to me.
Yeah, yeah. You know what's on my heart to share right now? I have to get this out. I heard that little voice that says, you need to talk about this. Is when it comes to vision, and the reason it seems like we're zagging all over the place, because some people are watching the replay or they're watching us live and they're thinking, what does all this have to do with vision? It has everything to do with vision. Vision is the foundation, and if you feel like you're lost, if you feel like you're spinning and your wheels aren't moving, or your wheels are moving and you aren't going anywhere, rather, it always comes back to the vision and the purpose. And for me, the greatest visionaries are the people who think creatively, who break rules, right, Phil? Um, and think innovatively. So we always want to challenge even our own methodologies. I do it all the time. And you may be doing it right, but there's nothing wrong with questioning what you're doing. There's nothing wrong with questioning what someone else is doing, especially. There's nothing wrong with questioning what someone is telling you, even if they have 50 million letters after their name. I really couldn't care less. I just want to make sure, number one, that it's valid information, good information, and most importantly, does it apply to me executing my vision? I just had that in my heart to share, because one of my favorite visionaries of all time is Steve Jobs. And just incredible. Yes, I'm an Apple junkie. I'm an Apple junkie. And I absolutely adore his ability to not only hold fast to his initial vision, but to continue to challenge his own level of excellence. Always getting better, better, better. And that's what we should be doing for ourselves. Don't just settle at what you have in your mind now as your B point. Revisit it in 3 months, revisit it in 6 months, and say, well, because you're going to know more, you're going to be connected with more people, you're growing. We're not getting older, we're just getting wiser. So continue to revisit it and challenge it, whatever it is that you're doing. Challenge the people that are in your network. I'm not saying to fight with them, but challenge yourself, challenge your surroundings every day. That's one of my favorite hashtags that I use, is challenge the status quo, even your own.
Yeah. Well, and I really like that. The notion to me, a lot of times what it comes down to is I have to ask myself why. As you sit down and you're about to do something, why? Why are you about to do this? Don't be afraid to ask yourself that question. The 3 seconds it takes you to answer the question in your head is either going to confirm that you're doing the right thing and then you move on and you do it, or it's going to say to you, maybe now's not the right time to act, because what I really need to do is get a better idea of how this moves me closer to where I want to be. And obviously I talk about it with numbers. If before you spend money, you need to be really clear about how it's going to increase sales or help you build value in your business. Otherwise, don't spend the money. But I think it's true for anything we do. Before you make a post, or before you accept an invitation to be part of an event or speak at a conference or any of those things, if you can't see very clearly how it helps you move forward, it doesn't mean you have to say no. It just means maybe you need more information or you need a little more time to decide.
You're so right. You're so on point. Like I said, cherry on the ice cream sundae. You are awesomeness squared. You are. Look at Dennis, just like.
Dennis, are you taking a nap, Dennis?
I know. I love him. I love him.
Oh, Dennis is muted. We can't hear Dennis.
You're muted, hon.
Hello.
There he is.
Okay. I do want to jump in and take things back. I have been thinking, I'm a car guy. I'm an absolute car nut. And so your analogy of imagination is the hood ornament of the car of creativity. Got me thinking a lot about cars, about the history of hood ornaments, about who uses and who does not use hood ornaments today. Basically, in the last 40 years, there's only 2 companies that have continued to really, truly have hood ornaments. And that's Jaguar and Rolls-Royce. And not only did they continue to have them, they were bold about it. In fact, the latest hood ornament that Rolls-Royce has come out with is actually made out of crystal and has lights shine through it. And because that particular car is actually a high performance car, at a certain speed, the hood ornament spins over and drops into the car because it's an aerodynamic nightmare. And so really, at 180 miles an hour starts to create some problems. Phil is saying he can't hear me. Let me turn that up even higher.
There we go. We could hear you okay, but maybe in the audience they were having trouble.
Sorry. No. Hi, Phil. Okay, so the thing is, there seems to be a correlation between the hood ornaments and what's happened to cars. In other words, the companies who have continued to use hood ornaments continue to focus on the highest that human ability can put together. You may not like a Rolls-Royce. You may not even want a Rolls-Royce. But there are so many things that are impressive about them. The radiators are so highly prized by the people who build them. They're actually signed. And Rolls-Royce considers a radiator a piece of artwork. The pinstripes are hand-painted, and they only have one person that they allow to pinstripe all of their cars. The guy's been doing it for like 30 years, and they've got somebody in training because he's getting older. The rest of the car companies who have slowly started to drop off the use of the hood ornament have with that become like everything else. They've become boring. And in fact, the other day I was at a gas station and I was looking at a car. I'm like, is that a Jag? No, it's not a. Wait. Oh, it's a Lincoln. See, Jaguar got bought by Ford. And about the same time that happened, they started to take off hood ornaments. Okay? And Jaguars became really boring. So I think there's a direct correlation. If you are letting that imagination be a powerful tool that really shines, I think it's going to help your vision, your creativity, to bring out the absolute best in who you are, what you're about, and what you have to give to the world. And if you allow that to disappear and become nothing more than your logo stuck on the sloping nose of your car, right, and you try and call that a hood ornament, well, you're going to have a Hyundai that looks like a Honda, that looks like a Ford, that looks like a... Please, could we go back to the days where each year the cars didn't even look like their predecessor? You can't tell a 1990 through current Mustang apart, and yet you can tell a 65 from a 66, from a 67, from a 68, from a 69, from a 70. There's a massive loss in how much we're putting ourselves forward as people. And I think if you're going to have vision, you really need to make it, make it part of you and drive it forward and be the best you can be.
Yeah. Well, and Dennis, I love the idea of it's reducing the risk, right? What these people are doing is they're not putting themselves out there. I mean, if we're going to talk about cars, the classic example is the Edsel, right? I mean, that was out there. That was out there. But they tried.
And it had a great hood ornament, by the way.
Yes. For example, that's where I think people are so interested maybe in the mass market appeal, and they see that as somehow that's the holy grail. If you can get lots and lots of people to love you, then you must be fantastic. They've lost the notion of it might be better to be really to provoke some passion in a smaller group of people, because that may be a better return on your investment. I mean, like, some people hated the 57s and some people loved them. Some people hated a 61, and some people love them. But at least everybody had a strong opinion. Now it's like you said, everyone's like, one or the other. They're all pretty much the same. So why do I care? I'm going to look for price, right? All I care about now is I just want to see what's cheapest, because there's no distinction.
Yeah.
I adore what you just said, Dennis, what you shared about the hood ornament, because that was news to me. I do love cars, but I can't say I'm like a gung-ho fanatic, but I absolutely love cars. And yeah, I love that analogy of the hood ornament to our uniqueness. And I believe that as kids, as children, we stand firm in our uniqueness. We do. We know what we know. We feel good about who we are, and especially as you go as younger, like 2-3 years old, nobody could tell us anything. And we were natural networkers. We were natural connectors, and we grow up, put on this thing called intelligence, and end up trying to be like everybody else. And I love that analogy, because if we can just hold on to that childlike imagination, our lives can literally be limitless. And that, to me, is vision. One of my other favorite quotes is, "The creative adult is the child who survived." Because too many of us are trying to play grown-up, taking ourselves and life and business way too seriously, making it way too complicated. Well, all we need to do, honestly, is laugh, play with our friends, pull out some crayons, not be afraid to color outside the lines, and not be afraid to paint the sun purple and be okay with that. And don't care if no one else thinks it should be purple. I say it's purple. To me, that's vision. That's imagination. That's what we have as entrepreneurs. We have the ability to not be those robots the society designed us to be. As you said, Stephanie, in jobs, the job force was designed, all right, I'm getting political, but modern day slavery. Modern day slavery. You work a certain number of hours, we tell you when you can come, when you can leave, we tell you what to do, and you better do it, and don't deviate. And breaking out as an entrepreneur, it's like being a kid again. So have fun. It's not that serious, folks. If we are able to be our own boss, sit here on a Friday at 3:42 p.m. Eastern Time and sit here and talk about crayons and hood ornaments, that's life to me. That is life. And the rest takes care of itself.
You make me think about a song as you were talking, one of my favorite songs. I'm going to attempt to poorly sing this, but the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, the little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you coming home, yeah, Dad, I can't say when, but we'll get together then. I love that song. I love how that song twists at the end.
Right.
I got to listen to it. I haven't heard that in a long time. Go ahead, Stephanie.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, that's exactly it. It's this notion that about the time you finish your work, when you're ready to retire, all the people you want to connect with don't have time for you because they're doing their own thing. So don't wait, right? I mean, to me, that's the message of the song. Don't wait. You cannot put off for 40 years living your life. waiting to retire. But I don't know, Dennis, what do you think? Was that what it meant to you, or?
Yeah. You know, I mean, here's this kid who all he wants to do is hang out and play with his dad, and his dad's too busy, but hey, we'll get together then, son. You know we'll have a good time then. And then all of a sudden it skips to the dad and his son. And the dad's saying exactly the same thing to his son. And, you know, he's not there. You know, I'm going to throw out something really bizarre, as I want to do at times. I actually think that the best thing, if you are not a divorced father, then act like one. See, when a court tells you you have to do visitation, like me, then you will live and die for that time, and nothing gets in the way. And, you know, my boss knows Thursdays I'm out of here at 3:30, and there's no pushback, right? So give yourself a prescribed visitation and go spend time once a week with your kids. Just you and your kids, because I can pretty much guarantee you your wife already spends a lot of time with your kids and you don't. Just saying. So, yeah, I don't know. That's a weird twist, but hey.
No, it's important. It has everything to do with what we're talking about. I mean, the vision that God places within our hearts is supposed to help us live the best life that we're designed to live. That's the whole point of this conversation to me, and that's why I was so excited when you both asked me to be on the show, because that's the foundation of happiness to me, is the vision that we have within our hearts and the ability to listen to our intuition and follow that. And like you said, Dennis, focus on the things that matter. Those should, like the doggy right there. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah,
he likes to come to the office.
So cute.
Everybody likes him.
He's so cute. It's my first time seeing him.
Oh, you've never met him?
No. But yeah, that's happiness. That's life. That's what life is about. It's not about business. Business, like you said, Steph, it's the vehicle. It's the vehicle that helps us or enables us to live a better life if we focus on it the right way, if we are intentional with our business actions. But life is petting your dog in the office in the afternoon on a Friday.
He's going to eat your mic, Dennis. Careful.
Oh, going to eat my mic? Oh, you can love on me? Okay, you're going to love on me? Hi. Oh, yes. Right. Daddy, it's time to go play.
Well,
you're back.
If it's time to go play, maybe we should wrap up. He's our built-in timer. That's what's happened here?
I guess. Yeah. Hi. Yeah, I love you too. Okay, lay down, big boy. All right, so let's close out. And Stephanie.
All right. Well, I'm up. Well, I'm not sure I could say a whole lot more because I kind of monopolized the conversation, but hey, I think obviously I'm so glad that Christine could be with us, and I really appreciate all the things that you shared, because I think by showing people who you really are, not only does it show them that it's possible, but I think it inspires them to say, oh, wow, I can actually run my business and live my life and be happy. You know, I hope for some people who thought that wasn't possible, maybe today they'll walk away thinking, oh, it could be. And, you know, obviously I would encourage you to connect with Christine. She's got all kinds of amazing information that she can share with you. She shares the most beautiful quote pics, and put her in your stream. That's what you need to do with this woman. So Christine, have you got some closing thoughts for us, and maybe anything that you'd like to ask us to do?
Well, thank you for having me. And on behalf of my superhero sidekick who had major gremlin activity today, I just want to share two things. I want to quote one of my mentors who is absolutely amazing. And he says, when your head, heart, and hands are fully aligned, you become unstoppable. So invest the time to listen to your intuition, listen to your heart, follow it. As individuals, we tend to question and second guess our intuition, and that's where we go wrong. So follow your intuition because it will never mislead you. And together with my joint venture partner, Roy, my divine connection, he's more than a joint venture partner. He is a divine connection. And Stephanie, I just want to thank you because and Dennis, you're asking me to be on this show about vision was the catalyst to moving Roy and I from taking our 4-year journey of carrying a vision that overlapped to fruition, and we are launching it today. We're launching. I know, I'm so excited, and I'm so honored to be able to be the one to announce it. I guess it was supposed to be this way. I don't know if he wasn't supposed to be on today. I don't know, but Roy and I have just an amazing story to share about divine connections and what happens when you be who you are, allow others to be who they are. That's where the miracles happen. So we've started what we call I² Chat Network, and it is a network where divine connections are a daily occurrence. Our goal is to help you bring your vision to fruition by finding and being found by your divine connections. That's it. That's what the whole purpose of the network is. So we'd like to invite you to join us. If what we've shared today has moved you, even in a little way, that's your intuition talking. So join us at christinelbowen.com/I²Chat. I'll type it into the comment stream. I want to thank all of you also in the audience. I am not a multitasker when it comes to HOAs and commenting because I like to be fully engaged with the conversation, so I'll be sure to come back in the comment stream, but I love all of you. Thank you all for your kind words too.
Wow. That's cool. I have to go check that out. Okay, so closing thoughts. Really, I mean, I don't even know that I can do justice to trying to close this out. I should have just shut up and said thank you, Christine, and closed the show. Next week, though, I do want to point out that we have Manny and Craig. They're both on the show. So I'm probably going to be sitting here going, because those two guys are so smart. But I am looking forward to it. And what's our word? Oh, we're not completely certain, but probably knowledge, I guess. So I'm thinking knowing, but we're in discussion. Stephanie doesn't like knowing.
It's not that I don't like it. We'll let you know on Monday. You have to watch the trailer to find out what the word is officially. How about that?
Yes.
But we will have Manny and Craig with us regardless of what word we pick. So you won't want to miss next week's show, that's for sure.
12:42, we'll be doing the preview trailer. So come join us. It's the funnest 3-minute HOA on air. See ya. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Thanks.